Hi, it's KuyaMike, and welcome to another video where I read one of your emails and give my opinion on the matter. As always, these emails are kept anonymous, so please feel free to send in any questions, confession stories, anything you just want to get off of your chest to the email in the description below. Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, and please do click on the notification bell so that you are kept up to date with any new uploads that I upload in the future, as well as liking and sharing this video to help this channel grow. I'd also like to invite you to comment on today's email just so we can help others that might be in a similar situation. Plus, it's always good to hear from more than one point of view. So without further ado, let's begin. Title of this email is Concerned Dad. Dear KuyaMike, I need your opinion on a rather strange matter. It's not an am I an asshole question, because as you will see, I clearly am. I need your opinion on whether my feelings are justified. I am father of 3 lovely kids. The eldest is almost 9 now, and the story began when she was only 6. She was in kindergarten on the morning where I had dropped her off. I stayed around to wait until the bell rang. She was happily playing with her friends when another kindergartner whispered something to the group of friends and pointed at my daughter. After a few minutes, my daughter was in tears. I found out that the girl told everyone to stay away from my daughter because a bird pooped on her. My daughter's in year 3 now and they're friends, but I've never forgiven the little turd. She gets invited to my daughter's birthday parties, and this is where I turn into a horrible person. I'm in charge of the music for musical chairs, and I make it impossible for the turd burger to win. I always pretend to forget her name. I'd make a point of calling each of my daughter's friends by name, and when it gets to turd face, I call her either a totally wrong name, or I ask her, what's your name again? She always gets the tiniest piece of birthday cake. One time there were 11 guests, and I cut the cake into 10 equal pieces. I brought them out 2 by 2 until she was the last one, and then I didn't come back out. When I make up the take-home nolly bags, I separate all the disgusting black jelly beans and put them in the bag with Miss Turdface's name on it, spelled incorrectly of course. Once I left her knocking at the front door for a full 10 minutes pretending I didn't hear it. So my question is this: is it wrong for a fully grown man to feel an urge to Hadouken punch a little girl in the throat for making my daughter cry? Regards, normally nice dad. For those that don't know what a Hadouken punch is, it's a culmination of years and years worth of refining your mind, body and soul. This is a technique that you use to obliterate your enemies. You let them feel the intensity of your resolve in the form of a surging fist, a projection of your soul, your energy, your being. Hadouken! So thanks for your email. Normally a nice dad. I can see you really love your daughter based on how offended you were on her behalf, and I can totally get where you're coming from. I'm not a dad myself, but I do have the most adorable pamunkins ever. So you'd best believe if anyone made one of my nieces cry, not only would I Hadouken them, I'd also hunt the bloody bird that pooped on her in the first place, and I'd probably order some KFC afterwards. But I'm not in your position, so I'm able to look at your situation without bias. And the thing in the wrong in the first place is the bloody sky rat that pooped on your daughter. As for her friend that made her cry, she was only 6 years old at the time, so it's safe to say that her social skills was and still is developing. So if anything, it should be the parents that should be faulted for not teaching their kids to not make fun of others in the first place. Plus, I don't think children have the capacity to have malicious intent behind their actions, unlike adults. Anyway, I think that your daughter is an absolute champ because she rose above it and the two are now friends. In fact, here's some quick story time with one of my nieces. My brother's daughter was 5 years old at the time, and we went out shopping to a game shop. I think it was EB Games. And in the game shop, I was checking for Fire Emblem Conquest. Now, I specifically remember this because I remember trying to appeal to my big sister to buy the game for me. Imagine that, I was 25 years old at the time, a grown-ass man trying to get my big sister to buy me a game. She didn't buy me the game. She got me this Nintendo Switch case though. Anyway, back to my niece. So at the game shop, I found her staring at this cap, this yellow cap with these Pikachu ears on it. And she obviously liked it because she picked the yellow team in Pokemon Go. So I asked her, do you want me to buy it for you? And she shyly said no, like, no. She obviously wanted it, but was being polite. Can you believe this? A 5-year-old being polite, unlike me, a 25-year-old grown man trying to get my big sister to buy me a game with absolutely no shame whatsoever. Love you out there. So again, back to my niece. I bought her the cap, gave it to her, her eyes lit up, she gave me a big hug, and then she proceeded to go play in one of those play areas that you have in shopping malls. And at some point, while she was playing, this other little girl approached her and asked her, why are you wearing that cap? That cap's for boys. To which my niece responded like an absolute champ. She said, and I kid you not, can't be made up, she says, I'm wearing it because I like it. How amazing is that for a 5-year-old to know what she likes and not feeling any form of shame or embarrassment whatsoever? My niece is so adorable. She definitely gets it from my sister-in-law because it didn't come from us. Anyway, the whole point of that quick story, apart from showing off my niece, was to give you an example of a little girl that's been taught well by her parents. And it sounds like your daughter is lucky to have you because despite being made fun of for being pooped on, she carried on, rose above it, and is now friends with that person. So give yourself more credit, and while you're at it, forgive the little girl as well, because for your daughter's sake, they're friends now. So you should really learn from your daughter and save that. for later when she starts liking boys. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on the matter. I'd like to hear what everyone else has to say in the comment section below. How do you think the daughter handled the situation? And if you were in a dad's shoes, do you think you'd feel differently, or would you also feel the same? Like I said, I'm not a dad yet myself, so if there's any parents here, I'd love to hear what you have to say. So please do comment your thoughts below. And as always, I do appreciate everyone's support, so please do like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and do click on the notification bell if you haven't, so you can keep up to date with future videos I'll be uploading. And do send in your emails to the email in the description below, and I hope to hear from you soon. Until the next video.